Representatives from the National Weather Service on scene here in East Smithfield today, observing the damage from Monday's storm. It's not uncommon for people to share photos of their trip on social media while they're traveling, but that may not be the best idea. Here's why. James is kind enough to give me a little taste of what this cross-country walk is going to be like. You can use the Backyard Preview app to scan the barcode or QR code on the firework, and it gives you a preview of what it'll look like when you light it off. Once you're actually in the car, you can share your status. That'll send the driver's photo, license plate, and location to a family member or friend in your contacts. Another big seller, apple cider donuts. Now, officials tell me they're constantly mixing up batter and putting it into one of these two donut makers. That's because on a weekend day, they make up to 5,000. 22 people die in need of an organ transplant every day. Now, just one donation of your eyes, soft tissue, and organs could end up saving 8 of those lives. While some big-name retailers like Target are bringing in extra bodies to handle the holiday rush, others like Walmart are not. Instead, they're focusing on online sales and offering extra hours to existing employees. When the initial meeting was held here, this entire room was filled. So many people came that they even flowed out into this lobby area. That's why tonight it's being held here at the McCabe Parish Center behind Our Lady of Lourdes Church. And though no decision is expected from the zoning board tonight, the public will certainly let them know what they think about this potential deal. Perhaps the most compelling testimony came from a woman who said she's known Banks for years and that she's positive he was the shooter in the bar last July. Now, police estimate the baby girl was between 12 and 16 months old, and as you mentioned, she was in fact found inside a plastic garbage bag. Forensics experts with the New York State Police in Albany will testify tomorrow when court resumes at 10 a.m. Republican senators leading the fight to repeal and replace Obamacare insist their bill has a shot at getting passed this week. 3 GOP no votes would doom the bill because every Democrat in the Senate opposes it. New development in a story 18 News first reported on earlier tonight. An arrest has been made in connection to the abandonment of a baby girl in the city this afternoon. New York politicians are looking to designate the Finger Lakes region as a national heritage area. Tomorrow, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Congressman Tom Reed are scheduled to make the announcement. A man is in the hospital after being shot by Elmira police this morning. Officials say they tried to negotiate with the suspect for several hours before he ran off and then began shooting at officers. Let's go to 18 News reporter Gail Ong, who's live on the scene. What can you tell us, Gail?
Any knock at the door always kind of just makes your heart sink a little bit. When I looked through the door and I seen the officer, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't, I didn't want it to believe.
20-year-old Malachi Norwood was working hard to get in shape so he could join the Army when he was tragically struck and killed by a train in Horsehead Sunday night.
He would get up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning and go out for a jog, and a 3-mile jog or a 3-mile bike ride, and then turn around, go to the gym, and then go back out. He'd do it 2-3 times a day.
Norwood's mother, Sherry, says Malachi was on his way home from his second gym session of the day when the accident happened.
I had actually stopped there. I was like, do you want me to wait and give you a ride home? He's like, oh, no, I'll walk. I know a shortcut. And I didn't realize quite what he was talking about.
His goal of becoming a combat medic well within reach when his life was cut short.
He had 1% BMI to lose. And he had dropped like 65 pounds in 3 months. And that's like, he worked out every single day.
Norwood says she had no idea how many people's lives had been impacted by Malachi.
I've had people from around, the people that he used to play PlayStation, and he talked to people around the world. And I've had people from all over the place send me messages. I'm like, we've never met him, but he's touched lives.
Those closest to him determined to honor his memory while still feeling the void.
It leaves such an emptiness. I will do my best to honor his memory and his life.
Our condolences go to Malachi's friends and family. His mother says she's hoping to get a petition going to have a sidewalk and bike lanes added to the Miracle Mile. Reporting live in the studio, Emily Burkhard, 18 News.
All this week here on 18 News at 6, we're looking into the issue of addictions. We begin tonight with someone who intimately knows the power these drugs can hold on a person. 18 News reporter Emily Burkhard takes a look at the face of addiction.
I've been in more than four rehabs, 10 detoxes. I've OD'd, I've been Narcan 4 times. I was a very heavy IV drug user.
Tim Courbain hasn't taken drugs in 3 years, a feat he didn't believe was possible after over 3 decades of using.
And I used IV heroin. I used IV heroin for over 15 years. I've used it at funerals in the bathrooms, at weddings in the bathrooms. I did whatever I had to do.
Courbain says his drug use started in his teenage years. He grew up in the area and went to high school at EFA, where he played football and basketball, a seemingly perfect star athlete on the outside, but inside Courbain struggled with heavy secrets.
Had experienced some things that taught me how to deny who I was, how I felt, how I really felt. I felt really isolated and alone already at that age. So when I saw adults drinking and having fun, why wouldn't I want to try it?
He remembers the first time he turned to alcohol to numb his pain.
Got sick the very first time, but also experienced some like relief, some escape from how I really felt.
Running from demons in his past, he decided to leave Elmira at the age of 17. After that, his struggles with addiction intensified.
I was restless, and I had already started with alcohol and marijuana, and just had like a streak that wanted to go out and explore.
As Courbain grew older, he started trying other drugs like cocaine and heroin. He says getting to where he is today wasn't easy.
I was abstinent for periods of time. You know, things would happen, you know, trouble would come about or whatever, and I'd say, okay, we'll leave it alone, we'll stop, it's obviously a problem, and then not address any issues and not look at why, what I was running from.
Even with the support of his family, Courbain struggled to stay sober.
You know, you can have family. I had family members praying me into rehab, praying me to get help, and I've been to more than a couple rehabs, and until the person is willing, has some willingness to that, like, doesn't want to live like that anymore and wants to get help and gets a little bit of hope that it is possible, all the support in the world from family or friends isn't enough.
He recalls the day he gained that willingness 3 years ago.
I remember when I did go to treatment the last time, I remember being on a subway platform in New York City, ready to jump.
Then he heard a voice.
It was God. I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person, and I have a God in my life that guides me, that shows me the right thing to do, the right way to live.
Now, 3 years later, Courbain says he regularly speaks with recovering addicts at detox centers in Elmira, offering them words of hope.
You know, I was there. I've done what you did. You're not the only one that felt that way. You're not the only one that's been through that trauma. You're not the only one that's lived on the streets or lived that lifestyle. And you get hope from that person, and you know that it's possible that just maybe,